Well, well, let me just start this video off by saying this. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening and thanks for subscribing because now often my channel can be taken as a channel that's critical toward black women. So, I like to do videos like this to kind of rebalance everything out to the middle. Yeah. And I guess I'm going to say, just re-emphasize the point I made in the first video. Not only is Brittany Griner a black woman, and there's nothing she can do about that, but not only is this not a country for ugly women, this is not a world for ugly women. And I'll explain to you what I mean. Brittany Griner's a big, tall-ass female. She's 6'8". She got wide-ass shoulders. She got wider and bigger shoulders than most dudes. Brittany Griner standing flat on her feet can probably hit the average dude in the face harder than the average other man could. She's a big masculine woman, and somebody along the way in her life got her into basketball. And I'm not really going to go over this whole situation, but everything is just being thrown out. Like, she's getting no benefit of any argument at all, man. I mean, none whatsoever. They're making it seem like that this black woman, this entitled, because I'm going to tell it to you like this. Let me tell you what the code language is, because there's a bunch of code language going on here. And white people like to engage in this code language. Donald Trump, for example, said that she was spoiled and entitled. This is what they, so-called conservative white people, this is what they believe black people are in general. They believe black people are racially inferior people, and that irregardless of there being slavery or anything that whites have ever done to black people, that black people should just be grateful any damn way, because what would you be without white people? You're subhuman savages, and if you look all across the world, it's not like you can point out anywhere where you people live in any type of prosperity. You're poor, disabled dumbasses on a worldwide basis. So they're going to have the spoiled mentality toward black people, that you're ungrateful, inferior people who may have had to go through something to live in a modern country, but overall, you're spoiled, and hey, yeah, we did some things, but your benefit is that you don't have to live like most of your other monkey-ass people. That is the best description of what conservatives, and not just conservatives, but whites in general. Hell, there's a lot of people that are liberal on the more so-called liberal spectrum that'll tell you pretty much the exact same thing to some degree and to an extent. So everything is wiped out and thrown out. And what they're engaging in is a large-scale process to hurry up and just get rid of her and throw her away and see before the election, so that she doesn't become a pulsating indicator of just how bad Democrats screw black people over. Because during 2020, a large-scale campaign, it was during the pandemic, during the height of the pandemic, a large-scale nationwide campaign was going on. And technically what they were doing is getting black people, or making black people the objects of overall social compassion. It was all about black people, black people, black people, Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Colin Kaepernick, all of this stuff. Same thing with Grandmaster Jay. Like, all of this stuff was just blasted at us 24/7. They even pulled the rapper Lil Baby over and got him to do that song, "We Gotta Make a Change," or what was the song the rapper Lil Baby did? It was an overall conscious thing. And in the WNBA, Brittany Griner. They got her as the leader, the chief alpha dog of the WNBA, to take a knee and all that type of stuff. I'm pretty damn sure that if you look way before the little time period where she took a knee, and if you look at her updates way after that little time period ended, that she probably just received a bunch of money, to get out there and, go with the wave. But she's being casted as this big old militant black, pro-black woman that hates America. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is, she's a woman living in this country who wasn't paid the same as what men are paid in the NBA. And that the dictator, Vladimir Putin, is willing to pay her 4 times as much. She's making $1 million in Russia. But this is what I've heard a lot of people say. Oh, well, Russians aren't like white Americans. Russians are conservative as hell. They don't like no damn black people. And I say this right here, motherfucker, stop trying to dig that crap up out of your rectum. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. Dude, you act as if Brittany Griner invaded Russia and forced the population to watch her play basketball. That woman is good enough to where they reached out to her. She wanted to play over there. And they felt like, irregardless of her blackness or whatever the hell they don't like about black people, that she makes a Russian team better. And so much better that they was willing to pay her way more money than she made in the U.S. So people are doing a massive amount of just generating just some of the most, I call it just out of your ass at the last second type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like conveniently put together little, conservative little wham-whams. Like, get out of here, man. This woman is not some random chick that was walking around over there. Now, I'm going to prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt, because I ain't going to make this video very long, right? The thumbnail that you're looking at, all right? And you can dig this up. You can look up this information your damn self. Yes. This proves that you motherfuckers are full of crap. I mean, you are. Let's just keep it real. You're full of it. This woman is not in jail for no weed. Okay, Vladimir Putin got drugs all up in his portfolio, okay? And if you're in denial of that, then hey, you're just in denial. All right. A few years ago, I remember there was a female that was talking about how fucked up it was for, the patriarchy, or the women in America were living underneath this patriarchy. And I said that was ridiculous. Women in America don't live underneath no damn patriarchy. If you want a patriarchy, I dug up this story of a situation that went down in Russia where you had this blogger who was blogging and basically was trying to get money. Somebody told this dude, kill your girlfriend. Probably some sick woman-hating dude. Told this dude, kill your girlfriend for a stack. And I think it was a stack, a rack, $1,000. Somebody gave this dude in a super chat. This dude took his girlfriend in Russia, took his girlfriend out to the side of the house and killed her dead. Literally came back inside covered in blood and said, hey, mission's done. Where's my live chat? Or some shit like that. Anyway, Vladimir Putin and the Russian government found out about it. And this is for all the people screaming about Brittany Griner needs to respect the law. Bitch, that girl had like 0.8 of an ounce, or better yet, 0.8 of a gram. That's not even a dime bag. And that was in liquefied form. That was in a damn CBD pen. Basically, she had some residue, just like glorified residue. It's a good amount of residue in a CBD pen. So Vladimir Putin, upon arresting this dude, sentenced this dude to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think maybe 5 or 6. But I think infamously, it was like 4 years, not even in a Russian penitentiary. House arrest. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it right there. Vladimir Putin is looked at as a Russian. Russians are looked at as the outcast of white people. The white people, the neo-Nazis in Ukraine, refer to them as orcs. The orcs were these black gorilla-type monkey people on the Lord of the Rings. If you look at people such as the Roma people and the Armenians, you tend to observe that they don't produce as many blonde-headed people. They tend to be more black-haired, and they have the outcast, ginger, red-haired people. Russia has a lot of red-headed people, and they were stigmatized, vilified, and demonized all throughout European history. So when Vladimir Putin jumped and started his little conflict, he did it out of frustration. Russia is not some backward country where you go to it and Vladimir Putin's face is all over the place. Russia has a mall over there in Moscow that is just about bigger than any mall in America. Russia had McDonald's. In the late 80s and early 90s, when McDonald's opened up in Russia, there were literally miles, 2 and 3 miles long. Some of the most popular products in Russia, and the products that they will infamously pay more money for, because Jack Daniels is very popular over there. And it often makes a lot of Russian vodka makers mad. But Russians, I mean, they have a society just like us. Bullet trains, internet cafes, restaurants, the whole entire nine. They're not some country living off in darkness. It's cold as hell, but they're just not this society living off in darkness. And they attempted to westernize. But our government doesn't like certain people over there in their government. So we got a big, gigantic fight going on. And what it is that to some degree or another, he was trying to prove to the other white folk that he is a white man. See, there's really nothing that he gets out of this whole thing with Brittany Griner when you look at it. Like, what really does he get? I mean, you get a person from America who you was paying all type of money to play a sport over there. That's not anything he's going to get out of there, because America is just invisibilizing the woman. We're just deleting her. They're just deleting her over here. She's just being deleted. She's being wiped out of significant, important care and concern. By the time the elections occur, black people are not going to not vote for Joe because he didn't go get Brittany. No. He's just holding her to show the other white people, this is how I treat niggers. And this is how you treat them. Because back when the press secretary, now I didn't necessarily agree with it, but when the press secretary was appointed, she's a black woman. She's a black Haitian woman. They made a lot of jokes on Russian TV about what exactly is it that these people do that's so great? Why is America appointing this big black female as your press secretary? Like, from what we know as Russians, these people are like 12% of your population. Why do you put them all over the place? And if I could answer that, I probably would have told him, for the same reason that you got 150-some million people and there's 12 basketball players on the team, and one of them from over here was good enough to come over there and make more money and make more money than you was willing to pay any of your own women. Okay. Now, basically, they don't have the understanding of why we are in the position that we are in America. White America owes us a lot, so they will often just give us what are really no more than symbolic positions. You get what I'm saying? But they are of the belief that, look, these people are just trash, garbage retards. Why don't you just treat them like shit? Like, what can they do? Look at me. I'm going to take this big old black, ugly ass lesbian and put her in a jail. You see? There's no magical African god that's going to come from somewhere and do something to me. There's not going to be no big, gigantic Negro protest that I have to deal with. No, you just throw them in jail and forget about them and let them die. Y'all some weak ass clowns for treating them niggers like that. This is how you treat one of them. Now, the average white American isn't going to say that, even though they believe the same thing. They're not going to say it out openly because they have to live directly with the people whom they would have to say that to. And you would get the opportunity to tell them exactly why it is certain people, like, certain things like affirmative action, why they exist. It's associated with your history of inhumanity and brutality. It's a lot easier to kind of just say that from a distance. It's a lot more complicated to say it directly to a person's face. You can say it on the internet all day and, shit like that, but it's hard to say to a person's face. But Putin has the advantage of not having to be in the people's face, but he can just engage in the white supremacist actions or behaviors. But, and he's an outcast, and I'm gonna tell it to you like this. They're not winning. They're not losing, but they're not winning in the way that they want to. They've been bogged down. I said that right now is the time period that you would be able to tell they were winning if they was winning. They don't have the total complete, they got the coastline, but they don't have Odessa. If they don't have Odessa within the next 45 to 60 days, then they're not going to be able to get the southwestern coastline. And that's going to be the coastline that all them American weapons are just going to keep flowing into Ukraine. And now it's kind of like he went to the playground and he bought the boys. And he thought that everybody was going to jump. And what you thought was going to be you and the boys standing on the playground just flexing, and everybody ran. Maybe y'all had to deal with a few little punks, but for the most part, everybody ran. Just imagine if you ain't even on the playground no more, you slightly outside of the playground, and you got a few of your boys on the playground, but man, y'all having to fight like a bitch. And you did not expect this shit, not 6-7 months after you started that shit. Man, look here. We supposed to be just sitting back getting our dick sucked and selling lemonade and whatever else we got to sell out here at the playground, man. Look here, by these hoes, getting our dick sucked by these hoes and selling whatever we got to sell. We is not supposed to be fighting these Mexicans, these goddamn Haitians from the South Side. Nigga, we got to deal with these motherfucking Puerto Ricans. Man, this shit is a disaster, bro. We can just unleash every goddamn gang, and then the people who giving these motherfucking Puerto Ricans and these Haitians all the guns, they can sit up there and give these people an unlimited amount of guns. We got to sit up here and get motherfuckers to go out here every day and fight somebody that's getting an unlimited amount of guns, and then to make it worse, they using some of them guns to come kill motherfuckers in our neighborhood. It's a fucking disaster. And he's frustrated. And the only thing that he can reach out and do it in his frustration is grab a Brittany Griner and try to just stomp and grapple and just rip her to shreds as much as he can. And, at the end of the day, she's an ugly woman. And, this is no world for ugly women because all the stuff, man, that your average, everyday female, white female, somewhat kind of pretty white female would have got, all the positions and the structuring of the arguments that would have existed, man, all that stuff is wiped out. All of that is wiped out. And she's just made to sit there. And who knows, maybe he'll release her or do something in the future. But for right now, it looks like he's going to make her sit there. But I just wanted to share this thumbnail to show you that unquestionably, without a doubt, this female is not in jail over no damn weed. Okay? Russia done let motherfuckers out of jail in 4, 5, or 6 years for killing a whole entire woman in the most blatant, flagrant, dead, in-your-face way that you could possibly do it. I'm out.